What's up everyone? Welcome back to the Marketing Nomad YouTube channel. I am the Marketing Nomad. Alrighty, I know that I've been a little bit MIA for the last couple of weeks. Yeah, the reason for that is I was going through a big personal life shift and I needed some time to focus on that. But now I think I've got it a little bit figured out, not completely, but a little bit figured out. So I am ready to get back to documenting what I'm going through, lessons that I'm learning along the way, along my soul's journey. Alrighty, so this happened very recently. I was feeling stuck with one aspect of my business, all right? And I caught myself saying this to myself, all right? I said, and it went something like this. I said, all right, I know we're getting overwhelmed. I know that this is frustrating that you're stuck, right? But this is part of the process. This is part of the blessing to even be having an opportunity to figure out something that is stuck in a business that you have dreamed of and wished for. That is a blessing in itself. And I said this again and again to myself until I calmed down, until I was able to kind of center myself. But after that entire episode, I thought to myself that, hey, that's actually true. It's actually so true that to even be given an opportunity to work on something that you have dreamed of, that you have wished for, even if those moments include struggles, those moments include obstacles, you feeling stuck, it's still part of the blessing. And that made me feel so grateful for the journey. It also made me feel very grateful for how far I've come along with this business with respect to how much I've grown as a person as well. I'm pretty sure 3 years ago, if I had gotten stuck, I would have gotten frustrated. I would have overcome it, yes, but I wouldn't have talked myself out of that frustration. I would have just been frustrated and then saying, why do I have to keep going through this? But today, I think my perception of obstacles and struggles and even places where you're stuck, I am beginning to look at those as blessings or part of the blessings. Like I get to work through this obstacle. I get to grow as a person. You know, this is part of the blessing of me working towards my business and creating something that stands the test of time. And so for me, that's my perception, and that's the shift that's happening. So it's not just with respect to my business, but I feel like I want to shift this perspective into other aspects of my life as well. And I wanted to share that with you because I think so often we think that, okay, the blessing is the end point, or the blessing is us getting whatever it is that we wished for. But the fact that the path has even opened up for you, the fact that you are able to work towards your dream, you can see it in the far distance, but you're putting in the hard work to become a version of yourself that can unlock the dream, that by itself also is part of the blessing. And I feel like the more we look at our journey that way, whether it's obstacles or struggles or even these blocks that we face, I think it can make the journey a lot more peaceful. It can also make the journey a lot more smoother for us in terms of our mental and our emotional health as well. Yeah, I kind of went off track because I heard this sound and I was like, what is that sound? Anyway, I'm back, all right? But yeah, I feel like the more we look at whatever it is that we're going through to get to where we want to be, the more we look at that as we get to do that, we get to overcome this obstacle, we get to grow as a person, we get to, maybe go through this struggle so that we can become a version of ourselves that can sustain the success when we get to it. The more we keep telling ourselves we get to do this, I think that it makes the harder parts of this journey worthwhile. I also think that it puts us in a much more healthier emotional state to be able to navigate the obstacles or the struggles. And in fact, after I repeatedly told myself that, I actually calmed down a lot and I was able to think a lot more clearer. No, I did not get the problem solved that day. It took me a couple of tries and it took me a couple of days, but I was feeling a lot more balanced. My mind was a lot more clear and I felt a lot more myself. going through the process of figuring out and unstucking myself, if that is even a word. I'm pretty sure it's not, but we're going to assume it is. All right. So I wanted to share this with you because I feel like it's important. Oftentimes we think that the blessing is the end point, but the fact that you even get to work towards a blessing, that by itself is part of the blessing. The fact that a path has unlocked for you, even though there might be pain, struggle, hardship, and twists and turns and blocks along the way, that's still a path that's unfolded for you because you said you wanted to get somewhere, and that path is how you get to that point, and not just get to that point, but become a version of yourself that you can unlock that success for long term. So I feel like that is also part of the blessing. If you were to get it today, right now, you would not be able to handle it. You would lose it just as fast as you got it. There's a reason why it hasn't stepped into your life today, because you haven't become a version of yourself that can sustain that success. And so if that path has opened up to you, that by itself is the blessing. So I wanted to share this with you because this was a very interesting thought that came to me. I am going to be showing up a lot more here, sharing my journey, documenting my journey as I go along. And any lessons that I'm learning or have learned and it's kind of working out for me, I definitely do want to share. So if this video changed your perspective in some way, definitely do let me know. And let me know in the comments section below. And if this has helped you in some way, do give me a thumbs up, hit that subscribe button, hit that notification bell, because that tells you every single time I do upload a YouTube video. Take care, and I'll catch you in my next one. Bye-bye.